Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Mahārāja's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Mahārāja on May 8th, 2022 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Shri Caitanya Ishvara. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will continue with the compilation of the Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled Vārāṇasī flooded. Haribo. Under the section How all the residents of Vārāṇasī became Vaishnavas, Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.154.
নিরন্তর কীর্তনে আদেশ, নাম আভাসে মুক্তি। নিরন্তর কর কৃষ্ণ নাম সংকীর্তন, এলায় মুক্তি পাবে পাবে প্রেমধন।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, always discuss Srimad Bhagavatam and constantly chant the holy names of Lord Krishna. In this way, you will be able to attain liberation very easily and you will be elevated to the enjoyment of love of Godhead. Haribo!
So this was the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Mayapur sannyasi, Kṛṣṇa Saraswati.
This was the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Mayavati sannyasi Prakashananda Saraswati.
Mayavadis are anxious for liberation.
The Mayavadis are anxious for liberation.
Liberation is easily obtained by chanting Hare Krishna.
Liberation is easily obtained by chanting Hare Krishna.
But more important, one can get love of Krishna.
But more important, one can get love for Krishna. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.155.
ভগবদ গীতা ভারত বর্ণিত হয়েছে,
one who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto him. Taught by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, this is a verse from Bhagavad Gita 18:54.
So by practicing devotional service, one naturally obtains all good qualities.
So by practicing the devotional service, one obtains all good qualities. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.156.
শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবতের দশম স্কন্ধের 87 অধ্যায়ের 21 নম্বর শ্লোকে শ্রীধর ধৃত সর্বজ্ঞ ভাষ্যকার ব্যাখ্যা ও নৃসিংহ তাপনীতে দ্বিতীয় স্কন্ধের পঞ্চম অধ্যায়ের 16 নম্বর শ্লোকে রয়েছে,
Even a liberated soul merged in the impersonal Brahman effulgence is attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. He thus installs a deity and renders Lord's service. Taught by His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is a quotation from Shankaracharya's commentary on the Nrsimha Tapani Upanishad.
Met the Shankaracharya of Puri.
When I met the Shankaracharya of Puri,
He had deities of Radha and Krishna.
He had deities of Radha and Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.157.
ভাগবতের দ্বিতীয় স্কন্ধের প্রথম অধ্যায়ের নবম শ্লোকে রয়েছে
Shukdev Goswami addressed Parikshit Maharaj. My dear king, although I was fully situated in the transcendental position, I was nonetheless attracted to the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Therefore, I studied Srimad Bhagavatam from my father. Because, by his divine Vishnu Prabhupada, this is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1.9.
So, Sukadeva Swami had already realized the impersonal Brahman.
So Sukadeva Goswami had already realized the impersonal Brahman.
Even though he was in that liberated position,
Even though he was in that liberated position,
he became attracted to the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
he became attracted to the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
I heard those from his father.
So he heard those from his father. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.153. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.15. Tasyaravindanayanasya padaravinda Kinjalkamishra tulasi makaranda vayu Amatarkatasva vivarena chakara desham Samshogam aksharajusham apichittatan. When the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves and saffron from the lotus feet of the lotus-eyed personality of Godhead entered through the nostrils into the hearts of those sages, the Kumaras, they experienced a change in both body and mind, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding. Report by His Divine Vishnu Prabhupada. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.15.43. For an explanation, Sri Madhya Leela, chapter 17, verse number 142.
The Bhagavatas were obstructed at the gate of the Vishnuloka.
So the four Kumaras were obstructed at the gate of the Vishnu Loka.
They cursed the doorkeepers.
And they cursed the doorkeepers.
When Vishnu himself arrived,
When Vishnu himself arrived,
they attained obeisances.
they paid obeisances.
Then the priest carried the aroma of tulsi into their nostrils.
And then the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi entered their nostrils.
Then they felt ecstasy,
And then they felt ecstasy.
although they were in the impersonal realization.
Although they were in the impersonal realization,
They were immediately converted to bhaktas.
they were immediately converted into bhaktas. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.159. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.10. Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantha api urukrame Kurvanti ahaitu kim bhaktim Ittam bhuta guno harihi. Those who are self-satisfied and unattracted by external material desires are also attracted to the loving service of Lord Krishna, whose qualities are transcendental and whose activities are wonderful. The personality of Godhead is called Krishna because he has such transcendentally attractive features. Referred by His Divine Vishnu Prabhupada, there is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.10. An explanation say Madhya Leela.
So, what Krishna explained in this verse, the Abharama verse, twice.
So Lord Krishna,
Caitanya
Lord Chaitanya explained this Atma Rama verse twice.
once to the Sarvamacharya,
Once to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
that he was asked by explain it again.
he was asked to explain it again.
We are told that 18 different explanations.
He told that 18 different explanations.
Lord Caitanya explained again in the same many more ways.
And Lord Caitanya explained it again in many more ways. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.160.
মহারাষ্ট্রীয় বিপ্র কর্তৃক প্রভুর 61 প্রকার অর্থ দেখান ক্ষমতা প্রশংসা। হেনকালে সেই মহারাষ্ট্রীয় ব্রাহ্মণ সভাতে কহিল সেই শ্লোক বিবরণ।
This time the Brahmana from the province of Maharashtra mentioned Lord Chaitanya's explanation of the Atma Rama verse. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.161.
এই শ্লোকের অর্থ প্রভু 61 প্রকার বলিয়াছেন যাহা শুনি লোকে চমৎকার।
The Maharashtrian Brahmana stated that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already explained that verse in 61 ways. Everyone was astonished to hear this.
It's quite amazing that someone could explain one verse 61 different ways.
It's quite amazing that someone could explain one verse in 61 different ways. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.161. 162. Sorry, Shri.
সকলের আগ্রহে প্রভু কর্তৃক 61 প্রকার অর্থ কথা। তবে সব লোক শুনি আগ্রহ করিল 61 অর্থ প্রভু বিবরী কহিল।
And all the people gathered there expressed the desire to hear again the 61 different meanings of the Atma Rama Shloka. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again explained them.
So, Lord Caitanya, he explained the Atmarama verse with 61 different explanations.
So Lord Chaitanya, he explained the Atma Rama verse with 61 different explanations.
Again. And this was very amazing to the people who were present.
This was very amazing to the people. Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.163.
প্রভুর পাণ্ডিত্যে সকলের বিস্ময় ও তাহাকে পরমেশ্বর শ্রীকৃষ্ণরূপে নির্ধারণ শুনিয়া লোকের বড় চমৎকার হইল চৈতন্য গোসাই শ্রীকৃষ্ণ নির্ধারিল।
Everyone heard Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's explanation of the Atma Rama verse, Atma Rama Shloka. Everyone was astonished and struck with wonder. They concluded that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was none other than Lord Kṛṣṇa himself.
Haribo!
Haribo!
So, since it's very uncommon, someone would be able to explain a verse
So it seems
61 different ways.
it was very uncommon for someone to explain a verse in 61 different ways.
And they concluded that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Kṛṣṇa himself.
So they concluded that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Kṛṣṇa himself.
Lord Caitanya, he manifested himself and he enjoyed the scholarship Leelas.
So Lord Chaitanya, he manifested himself and enjoyed his scholastic Leelas.
So he was my Pandit in Navadvip,
So he was my Pandit in Navadvip,
and now that he's traveling, he's using his Pandit quality to preach.
so now that he's traveling, he's using his Pandit quality to teach.
He is actually Kṛṣṇa himself.
For he is actually Krishna himself. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 25.164.
প্রভু গৃহে প্রত্যাগমন এত কহি উঠিয়া চলিলা গৌর হরি নমস্কার করে লোক হরি ধ্বনি করি
After giving those explanation again, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu arose and took his leave, and all the people there offered their obeisances unto him and chanted the Mahamantra.
So this way, all the people in Vārāṇasī
So in this way, all the people in Vārāṇasī
chanting the holy names,
were chanting the holy names,
offering their respects to Lord Caitanya.
offering their respects to Lord Caitanya. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 25.160.
কাশীতে কীর্তন বন্যা সব কাশীবাসী করে নাম সংকীর্তন প্রেমে হাসে কাঁদে গায় করে নর্তন
All the inhabitants of Kashi, Vārāṇasī, began chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in ecstatic love. Sometimes they laughed, sometimes they cried, sometimes they chanted, and sometimes they danced.
So, Lord Caitanya, in all his mercy, and the residents of Vārāṇasī experienced all of Krishna.
Lord Caitanya gave his mercy, and the residents of Vārāṇasī experienced love for Krishna.
So, we want all the devotees to take the mercy of Lord Caitanya
So we want all the devotees that they take the mercy of Lord Caitanya,
chant, dance, cry, laugh,
chant,
ecstasy.
dance, cry, and laugh in ecstasy. Haribo! Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 25.166.
প্রভু কর্তৃক কাশী উদ্ধার সন্ন্যাসী পণ্ডিত করে ভাগবত বিচার বারাণসীপুর প্রভু করিলা নিস্তার
After this, all the Mayavadi sannyasis and learned scholars at Vārāṇasī began discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu delivered them.
Previously, they wouldn't read the Srimad Bhagavatam,
Previously, they won't read the Srimad Bhagavatam.
just read the Vedanta Sutra commentary of Shankaracharya.
They would read Vedanta Sutra's commentary of Shankaracharya.
But after Lord Caitanya spoke to them, they started reading the Srimad Bhagavatam.
But after Lord Caitanya spoke to them, they started reading the Srimad Bhagavatam.
This way, they flooded Vārāṇasī in Krishna devotion.
In this way, he flooded the Vārāṇasī with Krishna's devotion. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 25.
প্রভুর আগমনে কাশী কৃষ্ণ কোলাহলে মুখরিত নিজ লোক লইয়া প্রভু আইলা বাসা ঘর বারাণসী হইল দ্বিতীয় নদিয়া নগর
Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu then returned to his residence with his personal associate. Thus he turned the whole city of Vārāṇasī into another Navadvip, Nadia Nagar. purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, both Navadvip and Vārāṇasī were celebrated for their highly educational activities. At the present time, these cities are still inhabited by great learned scholars. But Vārāṇasī is especially center for Mayavadi sannyas who are learned scholars. However, unlike Navadvip, there are hardly any devotees at Vārāṇasī. Consequently, the discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam was very rare in Vārāṇasī. In Navadvip, such a discussion was quite ordinary. After Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu visited Vārāṇasī and turned Prakāśānanda Saraswati and his disciples into Vaishnavas, Vārāṇasī became like Navadvip because so many devotees began discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. Haribo! Even at that present moment, one can hear many discussions on Srimad Bhagavatam taking place on the banks of the Ganges. Many scholars and sannyasis gather there to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and perform Sankirtan. Haribo!
So, Lord Chaitanya had such a profound effect on Vārāṇasī.
So Lord Chaitanya had such a profound effect on Vārāṇasī.
Vārāṇasī was previously Mayavadi coffee.
So Vārāṇasī was previously a Mayavadi place.
Now, under Lord Chaitanya went, you are studying Srimad Bhagavatam and performing Kṛṣṇa Kirtan.
Now, after Lord Chaitanya came, people were discussing studying Srimad Bhagavatam and performing Kṛṣṇa Kirtan. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.150.
প্রভুর গদার্ণ লীলায় ভক্তগণের আনন্দ। চন্দ্রশেখর তপন মিশ্র আর সনাতন শুনি দেখি আনন্দিত সবাকার মন।
During the arguments of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and seeing his victory, Chandrasekhar, Tapan Mishra, Sanatan Goswami were all extremely pleased. Taught by his divine grace of Prabhupada, here is an example of how a sannyasi should teach. And Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, not with a big party. Locally, however, he made friendship with Chandrasekhar, Tapana Mishra, and Sanatan Goswami also came to see him. Therefore, although he did not have many friends there, due to his sound preaching and his victory in arguing with the local sannyasis on Vedanta philosophy, he became greatly famous in that part of the country, as explained in the next verse.
One well-versed Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam,
And one should become well versed in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam,
so that they can meet other pundits and they can represent Lord Chaitanya.
If they meet other pandits, they can represent Lord Chaitanya.
I was in this situation in Mayapur.
I was in this situation in Jagannath Puri.
And then a pandit, Samadaya, that was chanting Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Jai Radha Govinda.
I met a pandit who was from a sampradaya was chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Radhe Govinda.
So, Prabhupada had discussed this. He said they're cutting up the Mahamantra.
Prabhupada has discussed this. You are cutting up the Mahamantra.
I asked, why are you cutting up the Mahamantra? Why don't you chant Hare Krishna completely?
I asked, why are you cutting up the Mahamantra? Why don't you chant Hare Krishna completely?
So he tried various arguments.
So he tried various arguments.
And finally, when he couldn't defeat me.
Finally, he couldn't defeat me.
He said, well, we chant the Hare Krishna mantra on Prabhupada.
Well, we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra
Prabhupada.
Gaur Purnima Day. At least. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.168.
মায়াবাদগ্রস্ত কৃষ্ণ নাম প্রেম বিমুখ ভক্তগণের আগ্রহে যৎ সামান্য শ্রদ্ধা বলে প্রভুর ব্রহ্মারও দুর্লভ অক্ষয় নাম প্রেম ভান্ডার কাশীবাসীকে অধিকার নির্বিশেষে বিতরণ নিজগণ লইয়া প্রভু কহে হাস্য করি কাশীতে আমি আইলাম বেচিতে ভাব কালী
Among his own associates, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu laughingly said, I came here to sell my emotional ecstatic love. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.169.
কাশীতে গ্রাহক নাহি বস্তু না বিকায় পুনরপি দেশে বহি লইয়া নাহি যায়
Although I came to Vārāṇasī to sell my goods, there was no customer, and it appeared necessary for me to carry them back to my own country.
Using the example, Lord Chaitanya using the example trader who comes to sell his goods.
Lord Chaitanya is an example of a trader who sells his goods.
And thought he had to return
He thought he had to return
without selling the goods.
without selling any goods.
Now you'll see his realization.
You see his realization. Haribol. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.170.
আমি বোঝা বহিমু তোমা সবার দুঃখ হইল তোমা সবার ইচ্ছায় বিনামূল্যে বিকাইল
All of you were feeling unhappy that no one was purchasing my goods, that I would have to carry them away. Therefore, by your will only, I have distributed them without charging. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. When we began distributing the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Western countries, a similar thing happened. In the beginning, we were very much disappointed, at least 1 year, because no one came forth to help this movement. But by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, some young boys joined this movement in 1966. Of course, we distributed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without bargaining or selling. As a result, this movement has spread all over the world with the assistance of European and American boys and girls. Therefore, pray for all the blessings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon all the devotees in the Western world who are spreading this movement.
So Prabhupada is explaining
So Srila Prabhupada is explaining
how when he went to the West,
how when he went to the West,
like Lord Chaitanya going to Vārāṇasī,
it was like Lord Chaitanya going to Vārāṇasī.
he was not getting any response.
He was not getting any response.
Then some boys came to his worship.
But then some boys came to his mission.
movement started to spread.
And the movement started to spread.
I joined in 1968.
I joined in 1968.
Yeah, Prabhupada is saying that 1966
Here Prabhupada is saying that in 1966
he got help.
he got help.
And I came,
And
already 3 temples.
when I came, there was already 3 temples.
New York,
New York,
San Francisco,
San Francisco,
and Montreal.
and Montreal.
I visited all the temples in the world.
I visited all the temples in the world.
All 3.
All the 3.
Now it's not possible.
That was not, now it's not possible.
Visited 800 temples in the world.
Visiting 800 temples in the world. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.171.
কাশীতে প্রেমবন্যা প্লাবনকারী প্রভুর স্তুতি সবে কহে তারিতে তোমার অবতার পূর্ব দক্ষিণ পশ্চিম করিলা নিস্তার
All the Lord's devotees then said, "You have incarnated to deliver fallen souls. You have delivered them in the east and in the south. Now you are delivering them in the west."
So Lord Caitanya, he descended from the Golok Vrindavan,
Lord Chaitanya, he descended from the Golok Vrindavan
to deliver all the people of the world.
to deliver all the people of the world.
We need your help, all the devotees who are present,
Keep your help, all the devotees who are present.
help to distribute this all the Godhead that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had brought into the world.
Help to distribute the love of God that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought into this world. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.107.
একবার আনসি ছিল তোমাতে বিমোহ তাহা নিস্তারিয়া কইলা আমা সবার সুখ
Only Vārāṇasī was left because the people there were against your missionary activities. Now you have delivered them and we are all very happy.
So, the Mayavadis and residents of Vārāṇasī
So the Mayavadis and the residents of Vārāṇasī
could not understand Lord Chaitanya's chanting Sankirtan.
could not understand Lord Chaitanya's chanting in Sankirtan.
Lord Chaitanya was able to explain the importance of chanting.
So Lord Chaitanya was able to explain the importance of chanting.
Thus he flooded the entire Vārāṇasī in this Sankirtan part.
Thus, he flooded the entire Vārāṇasī with the Sankirtan flood. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.173.
তথ্য অসংখ্য লোক সমাগম বারাণসী গ্রামে যদি কোলাহল হইল শুনি গ্রামী দেশি লোক আসিতে লাগিল
News of these events was broadcast. Everyone from the surrounding neighborhoods began to pour in to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
We have seen recently we inaugurated the temple in Patna.
So recently,
Bihar.
we had inaugurated the temple in Patna, Bihar.
And after the deities were installed,
After the deities were installed,
so many people rushed into the temple to have darshan.
so many people rushed into the temple to have darshan.
Go in there and they see chief minister also came.
And the governor and the chief minister also came,
Other VIPs.
and other VIPs.
So this Lord Chaitanya's system is still working around the world.
Lord Chaitanya's system is still working around the world. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.174.
চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত মধ্যলীলা 25.174 লক্ষ কোটি লোক আইসে নাহিক গণন সংকীর্ণ স্থানে প্রভুর না পায় দর্শন
Hundreds of thousands of people came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There was no counting the number because the Lord's residence was very small. Not everyone could see him.
So this is the big quality in India.
This is great quality in India.
People want to see
People want to see
special personalities.
personalities. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.157. 54.
প্রভুকে দেখিতে আইসে সকল সন্ন্যাসী প্রভুর প্রশংসা করে সব বারাণসী
The Mayavadi sannyasis of Vārāṇasī came to see the Lord after this incident, and the entire city praised him.
So Lord Chaitanya had changed the mentality of all the people in Vārāṇasī.
Lord Chaitanya had changed the mentality of all the people in Vārāṇasī.
First he was very humble, he went in like a needle,
So first he
out
was
like a ball.
very humble. He was bending like a needle and
Actually like a ball.
exited like a flower. Sad. Wonderful. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.155.
প্রভুর পদার্পণে কাশী ধন্যা বারাণসী পুরী আইলা শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য পুরী সহ সর্বলোক হইল মহাধন্য
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the city of Vārāṇasī, and all of its people were very thankful.
We are so fortunate that Lord Chaitanya came here from the deep,
So we are very fortunate that Lord Chaitanya came here to Navadvip,
and we are able to associate with his devotees.
and we are able to associate with his devotees. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 25.175.
বিশ্বেশ্বর দর্শন যাত্রাকালে অসংখ্য তৃষ্ণার্ত লোকের প্রভু দর্শন প্রাপ্ত প্রভু যবে স্নানে যান বিশ্বেশ্বর দর্শনে দুই দিকে লোক করে প্রভু বিলোকনে
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to take his bath in the Ganges, and to see the temple of Vishveshwar, people would line up on both sides to see the Lord.
Lord Chaitanya gave the Ganges
So Lord Chaitanya bathed in the Ganges
darshan of Lord Shiva Vishwanath.
and he took the darshan of Lord Shiva, Vishwanath.
All the people would be watching Lord Chaitanya.
All the people would be watching Lord Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Adi Leela 7.156.
অসংখ্য লোকের প্রভু দর্শন লক্ষ লক্ষ লোক আইসে প্রভুকে দেখিতে মহাভীর হইল দ্বারে নারে প্রবেশিতে
crowd at the door of his residence was so great that it numbered hundreds of thousands.
Lord Chaitanya could not enter his residence.
Lord Chaitanya could not enter his residence
So many people there.
because there were so many people there.
Lord Chaitanya had such an effect.
So Lord Chaitanya had such an effect.
People watched it, these people are,
Think how fortunate these people were.
they could see Lord Chaitanya.
They could see Lord Chaitanya.
How many of you would like to see Lord Chaitanya?
How many of you would like to see Lord Chaitanya? Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.157.
প্রভু যবে যান বিশ্বেশ্বর দর্শনে লক্ষ লক্ষ লোক আসি মিলে সেই স্থানে
When the Lord went to visit the temple of Vishveshwar, hundreds of thousands of people assembled to see him. Record by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The important point in this verse is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regularly visited the temple of Vishveshwara Lord Shiva at Vārāṇasī. Vaishnavas generally do not visit the demigod's temple, but here we see that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regularly visited the temple of Vishveshwara, who was the predominating deity of Vārāṇasī. Generally, Mayavadi sannyasis and worshippers of Lord Shiva lived in Vārāṇasī. But how is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who took the part of a Vaishnava sannyasi, also visited the Vishveshwara temple? The answer is that a Vaishnava does not behave impudently towards the demigods. A Vaishnava gives proper respect to all, although he never accepts a demigod as to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Brahma Samhita, there are mantras offering obeisances to Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, the Sun God, and Ganesha, as well as Lord Vishnu, all of whom are worshipped by the impersonalists as Pachopasana. In their temples, the impersonalists install deities of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, the Sun God, Goddess Durga, and sometimes Lord Brahma also. And this system is continuing at present in India under the guise of Hindu religion. Vaishnavas can also worship all these demigods, but only on the principles of Brahma Samhita, which is recommended by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We may note in this connection the mantras for worshipping Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Goddess Durga, the Sun God, Ganesha, as described in the Brahma Samhita. Shrishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibhati Durga Ichchanu Rupam Api Yasya Chateshvati Sa Govinda Madi. The external potency Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Chit, spiritual potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore Primeval Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself. Brahma Samhita 5.52. Shiram yata dadvikara vishesha yogat sanjayate anitadapritahasti hetu yashambhutam apitata samapaitikāryāt govindamādi puruṣam bhajami. Milk is transformed into curd by the actions of acids, yet the effect of the curd is neither the same or nor different from its cause, milk. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom the state of Shambhu is a similar transformation for the performance of the word of destruction. Brahma Samhita 5.45. Vasvan yatasma sakaleshu videshu teja swiyam kiyat prakatiyat kapitatva tatra brahma yayesha jagadanda vidhana karta govindamādi puruṣam tamaham bhajami. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, from whom the separated subjective portion, Brahma, receives his power for the regulation of the mundane world, just as the sun manifests a portion of his own light in all the effulgent germs that bear such names as Surya Kanta. Brahma Samhita 5.49. Yat Pada Pallava Yugam Vinidhaya Kumbha Vande Pranama Samahe Saganadi Raja Vignan Vihantu Malamasya Jagatrayasya Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda. Ganesha always holds his lotus feet upon the pair of pumuli protruding from his elephant head in order to obtain power for his function of destroying all obstacles on the path of progress in the three words. Brahma Samhita 5.15. Yachakshuresi savita sakaladramana Raja samasta suramurti rashesha teja Yashagya pramati samrita kala chakro Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The sun, full of infinite effulgence, who is the king of all the planets and the image of the good soul, is like the eye of this world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, pursuance of whose order the sun performs his journey, mounting the wheel of time. Brahma Samhita 5.52. All the demigods are servants of Kṛṣṇa. They are not equal with Kṛṣṇa. Therefore, if one goes to a temple for Panchopasana as mentioned above, one should not accept the deities as they are accepted by the impersonalists. All of them are to be accepted as personal demigods, but they all serve the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shankaracharya, for example, is understood to be an incarnation of Lord Shiva, as described in the Padma Purana. He propagated the Mayavada philosophy under the order of Supreme Lord. We have already discussed this point in Caitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.140 of this chapter. Kar dosha nahi deho agya kari dash. Shankaracharya is not at fault, for he has thus covered the real purport of the Vedas under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Lord Shiva, in the form of a Brahmana, Shankaracharya, preached the false philosophy of Mayavada, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu nevertheless said that since he did it on the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there was no fault on his part. Kar dosh nahi. We must offer proper respects to all the demigods. If one can offer respect even to an ant, why not to the demigods? One must always know, however, that no demigod is equal to or above the Supreme Lord. Ekale Ishwar Kṛṣṇa or Harshava Pritya. Only Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all others, including demigods such as Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Goddesses Durga, and Ganesha, are his servants. Everyone serves the purpose of the Supreme Godhead. And what to speak of such small and insignificant living entities as ourselves? We are surely eternal servants of the Lord. The Mayavada philosophy maintains that the demigods, the living entities, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are all equal. It is therefore a most foolish misinterpretation of the Vedic knowledge. Misrepresentation of the Vedic knowledge. Caitanya Charita.
So, respect the Vedas as servitors of Kṛṣṇa.
So we expect the demigod Devas as the servitors of Kṛṣṇa.
Not evil and greater than Kṛṣṇa, but they are dear servitors.
They are not equal or greater than Kṛṣṇa, but they are his dear servitors.
So he said, not disrespect them.
We should not disrespect them.
We understand that they are carrying out the order of Kṛṣṇa.
We understand that they are carrying out the orders of Kṛṣṇa. Caitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.115.
স্নান করিতে যবে যান গঙ্গা তীরে তাহাই সকল লোক হয় মহাবীরে।
Whenever Lord Caitanya went to the banks of the Ganges to take his bath, big crowds of many hundreds of thousands of people assembled there.
Everybody wanted to see Lord
Everybody wanted to see Lord
Chaitanya.
Caitanya. Caitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.159.
হরিকীর্তন করাইয়া প্রভুর লোক উদ্ধার। বাহু তুলি প্রভু বলে বল হরি হরি, হরিধ্বনি করে লোক স্বর্গ মর্ত ভরি।
Whenever the crowds were too great, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu stood up, raised his hands and chanted,
Hari Hari!
Hari Hari, to which all the people responded, filling both the land and sky with the vibration.
Lord Chaitanya got everyone to chant Hari Hari.
So Lord Chaitanya got everyone to chant Hari Hari. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 25.156.
সকলের হরিবোল ধ্বনি, বাহু তুলি প্রভু কহে বল কৃষ্ণ হরি, দণ্ডবধ করে লোকে হরিধ্বনি করি।
When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed by the people, he would raise his arms and say, Please chant Krishna, please chant Hari.
Kṛṣṇa Hari!
Krishna Hari!
Kṛṣṇa Hari!
Krishna Hari! Chant. All the people received him by chanting
Hare Kṛṣṇa!
Hare Krishna, and they offered their respects to him by this chanting.
Isaiah said, they were also bow down and prostrate obeisances.
Earlier it is said they also would bow down and offer their prostrate obeisances. Thus ends the chapter entitled Vārāṇasī flooded, under the section how all the residents of Vārāṇasī became Vaishnavas.
Are you all ready to help Lord Chaitanya?
Are you all ready to help Lord Caitanya? Haribol! Haribol!
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.